to record on this computer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast pre-gaming edition, which is exclusive to our Patreon. Of course, I'm Ray. Matt's over here with his brand new dick-sized horn, and we're being joined by Jason Colenso, owner of Colenso Fitness. I was on his podcast about a month or so ago. Guys, we're going to have our first male adult film star on the show. So that should be interesting because normally I think we have a little bit of a mojo with the female adult film stars. Like we kind of know where to go, but this is a little bit different. So, you know, and I mean, especially knowing that Jason's here and he does the fitness stuff.
You just see like a horn come on. It's like Jason's fucking horny dick.
Yeah. And with Jason, it's kind of like the kind of thing. It's like Jason could probably very well show him how to do dick push-ups. Like that's the thing.
I mean, we're all about stamina and endurance on this episode of the Happy Hour podcast.
Yes. So stamina and endurance, and you know, it should be pretty good. As we know, he's also a local boy. He's a Baltimore boy. He actually knows my cousin, Mike, who, you know, I was very close with Mike and his two brothers, Matt and Robbie, when I was growing up. So he worked at a restaurant with him. He's like, oh yeah, he called him by his real name, which I'm not going to say on air because that's, you know, he's known as Johnny Goodluck. But, you know, he's like, yeah, I know Johnny. I worked at a restaurant with him. So, you know, I'm pretty sure he has some good restaurant stories. And just him cooking in general. You know, I'm just kind of at the point of, hey, you know, I wonder if he's ever sat there and just cooked like a big meal for, like he fucked somebody to the point to where they hurt. And he's just like, I'm sorry, let me just make you dinner now. Let me make you this.
Do you think he fucks them, then makes them dinner, or you think he makes them dinner and then he fucks them?
I don't know. He could fuck them as he's making dinner. Like he's just sitting there, she's bent over the thing, and he's just flipping pancakes. Yeah.
Like she's the sous chef while getting fucked. Yes. You know, can you flip this for me? Yeah.
Right. He does a whole human hibachi thing with her or whatever. Like,
Matt's getting some ideas for later tonight on the post show.
Yes. And of course, everybody join us every week on Patreon for our behind the scenes exclusive content. Also, we'll probably say this for everybody that'll be listening at home, but we are going to have an official website probably by the end of April. That is www.thehhpod.com. And so Matt just now discovered our first Urban Dictionary term of the night.
Oh,
which
fuck.
Yeah. So we're gonna start doing that every week.
We have to lead off with this.
No, we're not gonna lead off with that. But it's gonna at some point we're gonna say it. And I downloaded UrbanDictionary.com on my phone, and there's a thing on it that says random, and you just press random, and it pops up with an Urban Dictionary term, and that was the first one. So pretty much what we'll do is we'll say what the Urban Dictionary word is, we'll say what the definition is, we'll say what the practice sentence is, and then one of us, if not all of us, can sit there and say the word in a sentence ourselves. So, and I actually kind of know in the back of my corroded, fucked up mind what I'm going to say for my sentence. So, and Matt's just sitting there like, yeah, I hate myself right now. And Jason's like, what the fuck did I get myself into today?
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Told everybody here.
Yeah. Great way to break them over. That's almost as bad as when we had David, the author on. I forgot his name. Matt broke the ice, and I was like, well, we were doing Would You Rather, and it was one of the only times. David Gilbert. Yep. David Gilbert, and it was one of the only times we did Would You Rather. Matt was like, would you rather suck 10 dicks at one time, or would you rather suck 10 dicks one at a time? And the guy just froze up completely, and I'm like, way to go, Matt. You broke our guest.
He didn't have to respond.
Like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah. But no, Jason came to hang out today. His girlfriend Kara, she was on the program not too long ago. Just look up that episode. I forget what episode number it is right offhand, but just look up Kara Romanek. She's a medium. It was awesome talking to her. It was fun. You know, Matt knows her very well. She said Jason loves the show. You know, I was on his podcast as well. And, you know, anytime we can have someone fill in as a sub or, you know, hang out just in general that knows how to podcast, or, you know, we love having them around to hang out and, you know, all that cool fun stuff.
Yeah, drop in, have a couple fucking beers.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can't spell Essex without sex.
Yeah.
And tonight, with Johnny Goodluck. So.
And actually, we're actually, it's the kind of thing that we're starting to see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel with this COVID stuff.
Yeah,
because now, like, and you know, anybody watching, you know, now it's the kind of thing that here in Baltimore, our restaurants, everything is starting to go back to a little bit of a
said-
normal. Baltimore City, unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with them. The leadership there is a bunch of fucking idiots. But the whole thing is things are starting to come back to a normal. I went to BJ's today to pick up a thing of meatballs because we're going to St. Patrick's Day party after this ends. So I went there to pick up. It just swarmed. I walked in and I'm like, what the like, I forgot what this is like. Yeah. And my job, we have a bar. There's a bar called Das Beer Hall. They rent our lot. So when we walked out at 4:00, there were cars lined all the way up the hill waiting for it. We're walking out and they're just sitting there foaming out of the mouth, drooling, waiting for the employees to pull out of the spots so they could get in the spots and go up to Das Beer Hall and drink. And that was right at 4:00. And the governor's executive order started at 5. So,
hey,
you know,
that's what the
yeah.
fuck I would be
Yeah.
doing. I mean,
So, you know,
I have my Rugrats running around. Shit,
speaking of which, you said you clotheslined your Rugrat. You're
He's
like
talking shit.
Now, did you give him a clothesline or did you give him a lariat?
It was more like a Larry.
More like a lariat.
Was it? Yes, Stan Hansen, John Bradshaw, Layfield. Yes, lay it in.
Yeah.
Yes.
They won't remember anyway, so lay it in.
Matt just throws him into the side of the couch. He runs back. He's like, "Gah!" Just takes him straight down. You talking shit to me, boy? And then that's the point. What probably happened, honestly, is he probably got right back up and went, "Go eat those vegetables I didn't finish, bitch."
Right. What are you thinking? Actually, dude, I got a story to fucking tell you later, maybe off camera. It's fucking pretty wild. But yeah, because he's a little asshole sometimes, and he kind of deserved it. I mean, and if people don't know, he kicks my ass all the time. Like that video I showed you, punched me in the fucking face.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. If your
He's
kid's
3 years old, he fucking rocked me, man,
Yeah.
in the jaw. Like if he was older, yeah.
if
he'd
your
fuck me
kids
up.
can beat the shit out of you, then you should be able to fight back. I mean, that's almost like, you know, being handcuffed, being abused by a cop, and you just can't do anything. Like, you know, I mean, look at it like this. Anytime Stone Cold Steve Austin's ever been arrested, he'd sit there arresting, he'd at least still push Vince McMahon against, you know, something with a shoulder or whatever and all that and talk shit. And a lot of times it probably ends up like that with children as well. Now, the thing is it's funny because we always tell all the adult film stars, we look up your work. And really with Johnny Goodluck, it's kind of like a benefit / not benefit, because you're looking up a male porn star, but also it's just kind of like, well, he's just kind of there, probably in a type of movie that we would probably watch anyways. Yeah. So, you know, as I said, it sets up, you know, a whole different prerogative. Like we know what the women's side is, but now
it's a different dynamic.
Yeah,
I like the because when you first talked about it, having a male porn star, and I was like, I mean, yeah, that's cool. I've never fucking talked to a male porn star before, but from what we understand, you know, they're the real workhorses of the business. So the women are just hot, just show up and get fucked. But,
but I feel like also that the male porn stars are a little bit more underrated than the female porn stars. Like we could sit there and each one of us could probably name about 25 to 30 female porn stars we knew right off the top of our heads. Me, you go famous male porn stars, you can probably name 8 or 9 right offhand. You know, Peter North, Ron Jeremy, you know, James Dean, all those guys come to mind when you do that. Yeah. You know, they come to mind, but you know, I feel like the male porn stars are a little bit more underrated than what the females are. And you know, it's also the kind of thing of, you know, females don't really have to do much. Like male, they have to be able to perform. Like, you know, their yogurt slinger has to be ready to sling yogurt on command. Like, you know, that's the whole thing. It's like, you know, we need you to Oikos or Chiabani this chick right now. You know, that's just the way it works.
I think the males too, they have to have more of a prominent feature. Like the reason why like Lexington Steel or Mandingo is because they're like this. You know, whereas the women, you know, like you say, they kind of come in, there's a shtick, there's a gimmick, but a guy, there's something prominent. Like it comes out and it's just like you're like, Jesus fuck, this is real. Like well, I ain't going out in public anytime soon. Jesus, with those things running around, the fuck. So.
And it's funny because you know, Johnny Goodluck, and it's the thing I'm gonna ask him. Johnny Goodluck sounds a lot like a Marvel hero. You know, it sounds a lot like,
you
oh,
know.
well, you know, how much luck do they get after you have sex? And I mean, that's the thing. It's like, if he ever wanted to sit there and turn into a villain or turn heel, would he become Johnny Bad Luck? And it's just kind of thing of, well, bad for you because now you get to have sex with me.
Right. So it can turn, and it actually works with his look though, because he's got the punk rock, rockabilly look, kind of like that thing. So like Johnny Goodluck actually does work with his physical appearance.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right, and the thing with like porn stars and their names, I don't know if you know this, but some porn stars they get their name from, I think it's like the first street that they ever lived on, and maybe like their middle name, and they like flip flop it depending.
But to be fair though, I think that's also kind of more of a old wise tale too. Like
I know.
And we can ask Johnny with that too, because I mean, if anybody used their streets or whatever and all that, like,
I don't know. But
well, I want to imagine his name would be Johnny Goodluck. Like, I mean, that's some good luck right there if you're born with your name Johnny Goodluck. So
it's like they have like a secret like superhero identity, like porn star like identity.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, I don't know, like Captain Cockmaster. And well, no one wants to be called Captain Cockmaster. Well, I mean, they just kind of like normalize the name.
Like, I wonder if it's the kind of thing where, you know, it's kind of like a wrestling gimmick. Like, you know, you sit there, you go in a room and there's all these people sitting around and you sit there and they're like, all right, take your clothes off. All right. You know, there's your yogurt slinger, you know, okay, this is what you look like. Okay. You're Johnny Goodluck. This is what you are. You're Johnny Goodluck.
And,
you know, this is your
his pants off, and they're like, you new here, bud?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, you know, it's like, Johnny Goodluck.
Johnny Goodluck. And that's almost like the kind of thing how Stone Cold got his name. They were throwing icebreaker at him, all kinds of, and then, you know, he ended up getting his name because his wife at the time, who was British, was like, sweetie, drink your coffee, it might turn stone cold. And he was like, what was that? And she's like, drink your coffee, it might turn stone cold. And he's like, that's it, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then, you know, he thought about it. He's like, well, shit, you know, Stone Cold Killer. I'm going to be like that stone, you know, cold personality that, you know, so, I mean, it's just crazy how everything transcends, you know, and, you know, we have a bunch of guests coming up. You know, I don't want to ruin our guest to guest stuff, but, you know, one guest is definitely a trendsetter, you know, basically for their
this is Patreon. You can technically tell them if they're not Patreon, they get a leg up.
Basically, it's the first gender of this person doing their job in a certain field. So, you know, a little bit of a hint there. Yeah. A little bit of a hint there for, you know, everybody, you know, watching this on Patreon. But yeah, I mean, guys, the numbers have been up. You know, everything's been up. You know, there's going to be more merchandise coming out. You know, hopefully you guys will be able to be directed a little bit better with the official website itself. Everything will be there. All of our links, all the places to find us, all of our guests, everything.
Buy those fucking leprechaun pants, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have fucking bought a pair, but I was like, I don't know if they'll be in on time.
Sweats.
I still might buy them.
The sweats. Oh yeah, cool. The sweats. We have a pair of sweats and women's leggings that have, you know, it's green fire on the sides, or the leprechaun really on the side, and then it has like the pot of gold and St. Patrick's Day logo and all that. And those are items, those more pricier. They're called all over print items. The all over print items are always slightly different than what the actual regular t-shirts are. Normally the regular t-shirts are just the logos. The all over print shirts and everything else has, you know, a little bit more detail. And, you know, this episode is actually going to be our St. Patrick's Day episode because we're recording it live the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day.
Keeps it nice and cool.
It is nice and cool.
Like, and I've been holding it this whole time.
I just grabbed Matt's horn.
Yeah.
You grab my horn.
Wait a minute. Why is
Our
that
next
so?
segment is grabbing Matt's horn.
Yeah.
This is going to be a weekly thing.
Yeah. Johnny just comes on and it's just like a bunch of Jews holding my horn. It's just like,
exit and leave.
Yeah.
What Ray, I meant to ask you, what restaurant was it that your cousin?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I just know he said that they worked together at a restaurant. So he might disclose that. I'm not sure. It might be the kind of thing he might not, want to disclose that.
I gotcha.
You know, but he's also married to fellow adult film star Draven Star.
Oh,
so
really?
they're married. She's a performer as well. So
that's interesting.
I know he used to working kind of like behind the scenes with stuff. And then he became a performer himself. And also he's the host of Demon Seed Radio.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Demon Seed Radio actually shared our stuff on Facebook. So they're following us now on Twitter and all that.
I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah,
what that's all about. They interview, if they interview like just their.
Well, I see. I'm trying to remember because I've heard Demon Seed Radio before, and I'm trying to remember who the old host was because I think they went through.
And I feel like I have heard that before. Yeah, I do, but
because it's not the first time it's been around. And he also told me he might be slightly. I think he's getting set up now. He might be slightly late because he's having a shoot that he's doing right now, and then he's coming on, and
he's coming in.
Yeah, he's coming in
fucking come on, or not him. He's done from doing the coming.
Yeah,
he's doing the coming.
He's going to come in a good mood because he's going to be empty. His body's going to be drained.
He's flinging the love juice, and he's coming straight to our podcast.
He's got the baby batter floating.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh man. And and also I have a subject of other things you can do with your dick besides fucking. And you see the kind of thing where people like pull buses with their dicks and all that. And it's like, well, if you do it the right way, can your dick serve as a mixer? Like, can you sit there and like
because I mean, it depends on how strong your penis is. I've heard it only takes 8 pounds of pressure to rip your penis off.
Yeah, well, how the fuck do these
8 pounds Asian guys stayed on for fucking this long?
And it's just the average. I'm saying, maybe you have a stronger penis.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I mean, no,
it's not for the
it gets me by.
Yeah, this penis is not for the weak of heart. If we were live right now, that would have been the name of the episode. This penis is not for the weak of heart, featuring Johnny Goodluck. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it should be a blast. And of course, the one chick, Erica from the Rub PR, she's the one who got us every other girl we've had in the past.
Yeah, so explain that to Jason on the way here.
Yeah. So she's gotten us everybody else in the past. Also, everybody watching at home, Perry Hall Ghost Hunters, they're coming up. Sarah J, we just announced Sarah J this past week for the guest to guest.
Look forward to that.
And she's
I'm going to disclose the information how many times I have jerked off to her, but
she's one of the biggest porn stars in the world, well over 1 million followers. Right. So that's gonna just Jesse Jane level, I'm
just gonna say, if I had went to college, she would have got me through my college days.
She definitely is my first sex teacher. Quality stuff there. Helping with some math homework. Can you get the spot on my back in case anybody hasn't tuned into her work? Highly recommend it.
So Matt, I think what we're going to do is each week, I think, whoever is available, we're going to have whoever go to urbandictionary.com and find the term of the night. And that's what the term of the night's going to be. And you know what?
This is quite a hell of a lead off.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, I just sat there and I just went there and I selected P and just selected P. It was like random P. And that's the first one that popped up. And I'm like, oh, all right. So, this is what it is. And I'm like, all right. And, it's weird because they have like other stuff on there. Like one of them was like Panic at the Disco. And then like it gave like a description of the band Panic at the Disco. And I'm like, I was so hoping this was going to be something else. Like, but it just,
one of those things that Ray's just throws on. I'm just like, oh shit. Okay. I guess we're rolling with that one. Roll with the punches.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel better, I will say it because it's an Urban Dictionary term. It's in a dictionary. It's on the Urban Dictionary. It's online. It's so it's a word, and I mean and you see the definition of it. So I mean,
I think I already know the definition.
Right. So, but I mean, we're just trying to make the people at home learn new terms. Sit there while they're arguing with their friend, go, you know what? You're a no good motherfucking, and that, and then they'll sit there and be like, what the fuck did you just call me?
That everyone's been talking about.
We're educating maybe youth of America. I mean, with this episode, I don't know how many youths will be tuning in, but we'll still be educated.
Yes, hopefully not. Hopefully, if you are a youth and you are tuning in, you got your parents' permission beforehand, because we are a mature audiences podcast, ages 18 and over, because we know, yes, the legal age to drink is 21, but we're listened to in 70 different countries and territories. So the drinking age is probably 12 over in Ireland or somewhere like that. So
it's a rite of passage over there.
Yeah. But
Yes.
momentarily.
And with that being said, say fuck you to your parents, because now if you're still watching and you're underage, guess what? You've done committed.
And momentarily, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and wrap up our pre-gaming for the Happy Hour podcast for this week. We will see you guys on our regular episode, so make sure you tune in for that. Which is going to be episode 39 featuring Johnny Goodluck. We may be back afterwards, we may not be. Just in case we are, we'll see you later. If not, we'll see you during the actual episode. Make sure you tune in and find it, and also make sure you check out www.thehhpod.com. Bookmark it now. It will be under construction /live probably within the next month or two. Thank you.